Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that the next 90 days could completely transform your life. Think about it. Just 3 months from now, you could be stronger, more disciplined, more focused, and far closer to the version of yourself you've always wanted to become. 90 days is not a lifetime. It's not even half a year. It's just a season of your life. Yet, it can be powerful enough to rebuild everything about who you are. The question is, are you willing to commit to a 90-day journey that can change everything? Your morning is the secret weapon that most people overlook. The way you start your day is not just about the first few minutes after you wake up. It's about setting the rhythm and the mindset that will carry you through the hours that follow. If you roll out of bed late, rush to get ready, and start your day in chaos, the rest of your day will likely reflect that same energy, unfocused, reactive, and filled with stress. But if you wake up with clarity, discipline, and purpose, you take control of the entire day before the world has the chance to throw distractions at you. The next 90 days can completely transform your life if you learn to master your mornings. The first step is recognizing that mornings are a gift. They're quiet, undisturbed, and filled with possibility. The world is asleep, the phone is silent, and there is no competition for your attention. This is the golden time when your mind is fresh and capable of absorbing new ideas. Your energy levels are higher, and your willpower is at its strongest. Too many people waste this powerful window by hitting the snooze button or jumping straight into social media, drowning their minds in noise before the day has even begun. Imagine the difference if, instead of reacting to the world, you began each day by creating, planning, or strengthening yourself. For the next 90 days, commit to a morning routine that fuels your body and mind. You don't need hours, you just need consistency. Start by waking up at the same time every day. This trains your body to align with discipline. Over time, waking up early will no longer feel like a punishment. It will feel natural. Use those first moments wisely. Instead of rushing, pause to reflect on your goals. Write down your intentions, or simply sit in silence. This practice clears your head and reminds you of the bigger picture you're working toward. Movement is another essential part of mastering your mornings. Whether it's stretching, running, or doing a short workout, moving your body awakens your energy and clears away the fog of sleep. Exercise not only strengthens your physical health, but it also sharpens your mind. The endorphins released through movement give you confidence and positivity, setting a strong emotional foundation for the day. Think of it this way. When you train your body in the morning, you're telling yourself that you have already won the first battle of the day. That small victory sets the tone for many more. Equally important is feeding your mind. Reading even 10 pages of a good book or listening to an uplifting message can introduce new ideas that shift your thinking. These ideas can inspire solutions, provide perspective, and plant seeds of growth that influence your decisions throughout the day. Contrast this with starting your morning scrolling endlessly through social media, comparing your life to others, and absorbing negativity. One choice builds you. The other drains you. The difference may feel small in a single day, but over 90 days, it becomes monumental. Another powerful practice is planning your day before it begins. Take a few minutes in the morning to write down the most important tasks you need to accomplish. This single habit ensures that you spend your energy where it matters most, instead of reacting to whatever comes your way. People often underestimate how much focus is lost when they try to keep everything in their heads. Writing it down removes confusion and replaces it with clarity. When you know exactly what needs to be done, your mind is free to concentrate on execution instead of constant decision-making. You also need to guard your mornings fiercely. Treat this time as sacred, non-negotiable, and unavailable to the outside world. That means saying no to late-night habits that steal your energy and make it harder to wake up. It means avoiding unnecessary conversations or activities that don't serve your purpose. If you truly value your mornings, you won't give them away cheaply. 90 days of protected, intentional mornings can accomplish more for your growth than years of scattered, unfocused effort. Remember, the goal is not perfection, it's progress. Some days you will feel tired. Some days life will try to interrupt. But if you keep showing up for yourself every morning, the results will compound. At first, the changes may seem small. More energy, more focus, more confidence. But gradually, they build into something extraordinary. You'll notice yourself becoming more disciplined, more in control, and more productive. The world will not have changed, but you will have changed the way you show up in it. And that, in the end, is the greatest power you can have. Distractions are the silent killers of progress. They don't just waste time, they rob you of focus, energy, and momentum. Most people don't even realize how much of their lives are swallowed up by distractions because they have become so normal in everyday routines. Yet, if you're serious about rebuilding yourself in the next 90 days, you must make a bold decision to eliminate distractions ruthlessly. It's not about becoming robotic or cutting joy out of life. It's about removing the things that pull you away from your purpose so you can channel every ounce of energy into growth. Think for a moment about how easily 90 days can slip through your fingers. Hours spent scrolling through feeds, binge-watching shows, or engaging in conversations that add no value may feel harmless in the moment, but when added up, they amount to weeks of lost potential. Imagine what you could achieve in 3 months if you redirected even half of that wasted time towards meaningful goals. The truth is, you don't need more time. You need fewer distractions. Your success doesn't come from the hours you have. It comes from how you use them. The first step to eliminating distractions is awareness. Most people live on autopilot, unaware of how much time they lose to meaningless activities. Start tracking your days honestly. Notice how many times you check your phone, how long you linger on social media, how often you say yes to things you should decline. When you become conscious of where your attention goes, you'll see that distractions aren't small. They're the biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you want. Once you identify your distractions, the next step is to replace them. You can't just remove a habit. You must replace it with something better. If you cut down on social media, replace that time with reading, journaling, or practicing a skill. If you reduce television, replace it with exercise, planning, or building something meaningful. When you fill your time with purposeful activities, distractions naturally lose their power because your mind is engaged in growth. Another strategy is creating an environment where focus thrives. Your surroundings play a huge role in your ability to stay disciplined.
A cluttered desk, constant notifications, or noisy environments will constantly pull your attention away. For the next 90 days, design your space to support your goals. Keep your environment clean, silence unnecessary alerts, and create boundaries around your focus time. Treat your environment like an ally, not an enemy. When your space is designed for clarity, your mind follows. Equally important is learning the art of saying no. Distractions don't only come from screens, they also come from people. Sometimes friends, colleagues, or even family members demand your time in ways that derail your focus. If you want to rebuild yourself, you have to protect your boundaries. Saying no isn't selfish, it's necessary. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to your future. The next 90 days require courage, and part of that courage is disappointing others in order to honor yourself. One of the most powerful realizations is that distraction is not just lost time, it's lost energy. When you constantly shift your focus, your brain burns energy in the transition, leaving you mentally drained without accomplishing much. This is why at the end of the day, many people feel exhausted, but realize they haven't achieved anything meaningful. If you want to rebuild yourself, train your mind to give full attention to one thing at a time. Deep work, uninterrupted, focused effort will produce more results in hours than scattered attention produces in days. It's also important to remember that distractions will never disappear completely. They will always exist in one form or another. But what changes is your ability to control them. Treat distractions like temptations. They lose their grip when you decide your purpose is more important. Remind yourself every day that the next 90 days are a test of your focus. Every moment you resist a distraction, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. Every time you choose focus over waste, you build momentum toward the life you want. At first, eliminating distractions feels difficult. Your mind craves comfort.
Your habits resist change. You may even feel restless without the constant noise. But if you stay consistent, you'll notice a shift. Suddenly, you'll feel lighter because you're no longer tied to meaningless habits. You'll feel stronger because your attention is under your control, not scattered across 1,000 places. And most importantly, you'll feel proud because you're finally living with intention, not reaction. 90 days of ruthless focus will make you unrecognizable compared to who you are today. While others lose themselves in endless distractions, you will be building discipline, sharpening your skills, and moving closer to the life you've always imagined. Change doesn't happen in giant leaps. It happens in small, consistent steps repeated daily. The idea of transformation often overwhelms people because they think it requires a dramatic, overnight shift. But the truth is, rebuilding yourself is about committing to small disciplines that over time compound into massive results. For the next 90 days, if you focus on building small daily disciplines, you'll create a foundation so strong that nothing can easily shake it. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't depend on talent, luck, or external circumstances. It depends solely on your willingness to keep showing up every single day. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many think it means harsh restriction or living without joy. But discipline is really about freedom. It's about giving yourself the structure that allows you to grow instead of drifting aimlessly. Small disciplines act like bricks, and each day you lay one brick carefully in place. At first, the wall seems invisible, but keep going, and soon you've built something unshakable. Too often, people want the skyscraper without first being willing to lay the bricks. But in 90 days, if you lay down those small habits, you'll see a noticeable shift in who you are and how you live. Start with something so simple, it's almost impossible to fail. Maybe it's exercising for 10 minutes, reading 5 pages, drinking more water, or writing down 3 goals every morning. These habits seem small, almost insignificant, but the power lies in their repetition. One workout won't transform your body, but 90 days of movement will. One page won't change your knowledge, but 90 days of reading will. One goal written won't shift your life, but 90 days of reminding yourself what matters will sharpen your direction. Small actions, repeated consistently, create results that big, inconsistent bursts of effort never can. One of the greatest benefits of daily discipline is momentum. In the beginning, it may feel hard to start. Your mind and body will resist change because they're comfortable with the old patterns. But as you push through those first uncomfortable weeks, the habits begin to stick. Discipline that once felt forced becomes automatic. And once it becomes automatic, momentum carries you forward. That's when you realize the secret. Discipline is not about being perfect every day. It's about not giving up when you fall short. Even if you miss a day, you get back up and continue the next day. That resilience is what creates true transformation. Another critical part of daily discipline is tracking your progress. When you write down your habits or keep a simple log of your actions, you can see your growth in real time. This provides motivation because it proves that even the smallest efforts are paying off. Without tracking, it's easy to forget how far you've come, and the temptation to quit grows stronger. But with evidence in front of you, you realize that every step matters, and quitting means throwing away progress you've already earned. Daily discipline also strengthens your character. It teaches you to keep promises to yourself. Most people break their own word far too often. They say they'll wake up early, but they hit snooze. They say they'll eat healthy, but they give in to temptation. Every broken promise weakens self-trust. But when you build daily discipline, you rebuild trust with yourself. You prove that when you say you'll do something, you follow through. That confidence spills over into every area of life: your career, your relationships, your goals. You no longer wait for motivation. You rely on discipline. What makes daily discipline so powerful is the compound effect. Think about compound interest in money. Small deposits grow into massive wealth over time. The same principle applies to habits. 90 days of small, consistent effort can produce results far greater than you expect. And the best part is, once you've built these disciplines into your life, they don't stop at 90 days. They become part of who you are. What started as effort transforms into identity. You no longer just do discipline, you become disciplined. In the end, small daily disciplines are the bridge between who you are today and who you want to become. They're not flashy, they're not dramatic, and often nobody else even notices them. But they work quietly in the background, reshaping your body, your mind, your habits, and your future. While others wait for the perfect opportunity, you'll be building yourself brick by brick, day by day. 90 days from now, you'll not only look back and see the progress, you'll feel the strength of knowing you've rebuilt yourself with consistency, resilience, and unwavering discipline. The people you surround yourself with have more influence on your growth than you may realize. Human beings are shaped by their environment, and your environment is often defined by the company you keep. If you want to rebuild yourself in the next 90 days, one of the most powerful decisions you can make is to carefully redefine your circle. No matter how disciplined or motivated you are, it is nearly impossible to grow if you are surrounded by negativity, mediocrity, and complacency. Your circle can either be the wind beneath your wings or the anchor that drags you down. Think about it. If you spend your days around people who constantly complain, make excuses, and discourage ambition, you begin to absorb their energy without even noticing it. Slowly, their doubts become your doubts, and their limitations become your limitations. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who push you to grow, who challenge your thinking, and who inspire you with their actions, you naturally elevate yourself to match their energy. Your circle becomes a mirror of your future. If you want to know where you're heading, look closely at the people closest to you. For the next 90 days, you must be intentional about who gets access to your time and energy. This doesn't mean you cut ties with everyone or abandon people you care about. It means you create boundaries that protect your growth. If certain relationships drain you, limit the time you spend there. If conversations revolve only around gossip, negativity, or distractions, learn to walk away. Protect your mental space as if your future depends on it, because it does. Every hour you spend with the wrong energy is an hour stolen from the better version of yourself you are trying to build. At the same time, seek out people, resources, and environments that fuel you. Sometimes you may not have immediate access to mentors or high achievers in your personal life, but you can still surround yourself with their influence through books, podcasts, speeches, and courses. For 90 days, you can create a circle of influence made up of the greatest thinkers, leaders, and creators simply by choosing what you consume daily. What you watch, listen to, and read is as much a part of your circle as the people you physically spend time with. Feed your mind with ideas that stretch you and content that builds you, and you'll find yourself growing into someone stronger, sharper, and more capable. Redefining your circle also requires courage. It takes courage to step away from people who don't understand your vision. It takes courage to say no to old habits and social patterns that no longer serve you. It takes courage to walk alone while you search for a better environment. But remember this, growth often feels lonely at first because you are breaking away from the crowd. That loneliness is not a punishment, it's preparation. It is in those moments of distance that you discover your true strength. And soon, new people will appear who align with the version of yourself you're building. During this 90-day journey, be intentional about the kind of relationships you nurture. Surround yourself with people who inspire discipline, who respect your boundaries, and who celebrate your growth instead of mocking it. Even one supportive voice can make a huge difference. A single friend who believes in you can spark courage, while a single voice of doubt can crush your confidence. Choose carefully. Energy is contagious, and you will always catch the energy of those around you. Make sure it's the kind of energy that helps you rise. Also understand that redefining your circle isn't just about people, it's about places too. The places you go, the environments you spend time in, and the communities you engage with all shape your mindset. Spending 90 days in uplifting, productive environments will build momentum, while spending them in toxic, draining ones will undo your progress. Create a life where your surroundings push you forward instead of holding you back.
In the end, rebuilding yourself in 90 days isn't just about personal effort. It's about shaping the environment that supports that effort. You cannot become your best self in the wrong circle.
Choose wisely. Protect your boundaries. And remember, it's better to walk alone on the right path than to stay surrounded on the wrong one. 90 days of intentional connection can not only change your habits, but also transform the direction of your entire future. Clarity is power, and when you commit to rebuilding yourself in 90 days, you cannot afford to wander without direction. Too many people wake up each day without a clear mission, and as a result, their energy gets scattered across dozens of meaningless activities. They work hard, but achieve little because their effort is not focused. If you truly want to transform in the next 3 months, you must decide on one clear goal that will guide your actions, shape your decisions, and keep you accountable every single day. Without that focus, the 90 days will pass, but you will still be standing in the same place. With it, you can move mountains. The power of having a 90-day goal lies in its simplicity. It's short enough to feel urgent, but long enough to produce meaningful results. A year often feels too far away, and people procrastinate. A week feels too short, and people don't take it seriously. But 90 days is the perfect window. It forces you to act with urgency while giving you enough time to build new habits and see real progress. By choosing one clear mission for this period, you create a target for your mind to lock onto, and that target gives your days purpose. The key is not to pick 10 different goals and spread yourself thin. It's about identifying the single result that, if achieved, would make the biggest impact on your life. It could be improving your health, launching a project, building discipline, learning a skill, or saving a set amount of money. Whatever it is, it should be specific enough that you know when you've achieved it. Vague goals create vague results, but when you know exactly what you're aiming for, your actions naturally align with that vision. Once you set your 90-day goal, you must bring it to life every day. Write it down where you can see it constantly, on your desk, on your phone, on your wall. The more you see it, the more it embeds itself into your subconscious. This daily reminder keeps you from drifting and brings you back on track whenever distractions try to pull you away. It also creates a sense of accountability because the goal is no longer just an idea in your mind. It's a visible commitment you've made to yourself. Breaking the goal into smaller milestones is another crucial step. 90 days can feel overwhelming if you look at it as one massive block of time. But if you break it into weeks and then into daily actions, it becomes manageable. For example, if your goal is to read 900 pages in 90 days, you don't focus on the 900. You focus on reading 10 pages a day. If your goal is to lose a certain amount of weight, you don't obsess over the end result. You focus on eating right and exercising consistently each day. These small daily actions build momentum, and soon you'll realize the big goal is being achieved almost automatically. The discipline of pursuing one clear goal also sharpens your decision-making. Every day, you'll face countless choices about how to spend your time. With a clear 90-day mission, those choices become easier. You simply ask yourself, does this move me closer to my goal or further away? If it helps you progress, you say yes. If it doesn't, you say no. This filter keeps you from wasting time and ensures that your energy is directed where it matters most. Of course, challenges will arise. There will be days when motivation feels low, when obstacles appear, or when the goal feels far away. This is where clarity proves its worth. When your mind is clear about what you want, you are less likely to quit in the face of setbacks. Instead, you adapt, adjust your methods, and keep moving forward. The goal becomes a North Star. It doesn't change even if the path does over time. This persistence not only moves you closer to the result, but also builds resilience and confidence. What's truly powerful about living with a 90-day goal is how it transforms your identity. At first, you're someone chasing a goal, but as the days pass, you become someone who lives with focus and direction. The process itself reshapes you. The end result, the achieved goal, is important, but what's even more valuable is the version of yourself you become in pursuit of it. A person who can commit to 90 days of focused effort can commit to anything. When you look back at the end of the journey, you'll realize that the clarity of your goal made the difference. While others wasted the same 90 days on distractions and excuses, you invested them into something purposeful. You'll not only have the result you worked for, but also the pride of knowing you lived with intention. And from that point on, you'll understand that any part of your life can be rebuilt 90 days at a time. So now the picture is clear. Rebuilding yourself in 90 days isn't about waiting for miracles or hoping life somehow changes on its own. It's about taking control one step at a time. When you master your mornings, you take charge of the day before it even begins. When you cut out distractions, you protect your most valuable resource, your focus. When you commit to small daily disciplines, you build strength and momentum that nothing can shake. When you redefine your circle, you choose an environment that lifts you higher instead of holding you down. And when you live with one clear 90-day goal, you channel all your energy in a single powerful direction. The truth is, 90 days will pass whether you use them or waste them. The question is, who will you be when those days are over? Will you look back and see another season lost to excuses? Or will you see proof that you took control and rebuilt yourself into someone stronger, sharper, and more disciplined? The decision is yours to make today. If you commit, if you stay consistent, and if you refuse to quit, then in just 90 days, you won't just recognize progress, you'll recognize a new version of yourself.